Hey everyone, it's Chase Vickers with MoonShot Money. That's my brother Isaac in the editing booth. That's our dad Mike behind the computer looking for our next great investment. In today's video, we're going to look at compound interest. It's very important to understand and even more important to put yourself on the right side of it as soon as you possibly can. I'm anxious to share this with you. Are you ready? Let's go. For beginners, compound interest almost seems too complicated to understand, and people mentally check out. Those people fall into the second of two categories. The first category is people who earn compound interest, and the second category is people who pay compound interest. Trust me when I say you want to be on the earning side. Everyone knows how brilliant Albert Einstein was. He knew that compound interest had the potential to change circumstances. And here's a direct quote from the man himself. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it, and he who doesn't, pays it. He knew that compound interest could work for you or against you, and that choice was up to each individual. If you buy a house and you have a 30-year mortgage, let's say 5% interest, you can look at an amortization schedule and see how much interest you'll pay over that 30 years. It's scary when compound interest is working against you, but we all have to pay it sometimes. To get a vision of compound interest working in your favor, just Google compound interest calculator and fill in the fields and hit calculate. Here's an example. Let's say you invest $1,000 today and plan to consistently invest $100 per month over the next 30 years. On average, over the last several decades, the stock market has risen 8% annually. So let's enter 8% into the estimated interest rate. Your total investment of $36,000 would grow to over $146,000. Are you kidding me? Do you now see why it's so important to get started as soon as you possibly can? You can tinker with those numbers and see what you come up with. What if you started with, say, $2,000 or maybe $5,000? What if you invested $200 per month instead of $100? Plus, what if you could beat the market average return of 8% like so many other investors do? What if you could average 10%, maybe 12%? What if you could average 15%? My dad talks to young people all the time, encouraging them to get started investing. He knows how much of a blessing that they can be to their family, their church, and to the world if they can harness the power of compound interest. Let's do one more example just for fun. Let's say you invest $5,000, make a commitment over the next 30 years to make monthly investments of $200. If you can average 12% over the course of your investing career, are you ready? That $77,000 investment at retirement would now be worth over $700,000. If that doesn't get you interested in your money, I don't know what will. Or instead of investing, you can spend that $5,000 on some new clothes or new TV, new rims for your ride, maybe a new phone. By only investing $200 per month and spending that $5,000 on other stuff, the stuff you bought over the 30 years would end up costing you approximately $150,000. Now that's one expensive iPhone. What we are really talking about is patience versus impatience. Instant gratification versus delayed gratification. It costs the same to buy a meal at Chick-fil-A as it does to buy some seeds to plant in your garden. With that meal, you get to eat once right now. With the seeds, you get to eat many times later. Young people have the greatest opportunity because of something called time value. The earlier you start investing, the better. Warren Buffett once said, "My wealth comes from a combination of living in America, some lucky genes, and compound interest." Hopefully you're convinced. So let's talk about some ways to compound your money. Before we mention these three ways, let's talk about something called the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 tells you how long it will take you to double your money by dividing the interest rate you're earning into the number 72. Hold that thought. 3 ways to make compound interest. Number 1, certificates of deposit. At your bank, let's say you have $10,000 and the CD is paying 1% in a year. Your money will make $100. If you divide 72 by 1%, you get 72. According to the rule of 72, it would take you 72 years to double your money this way. Yikes. Number 2, stock market. Let's say you invest your same $10,000 and earn 8% over the course of the year. Your money will make $800. Not too shabby. If you divide 72 by 8%, you get 9 years. Your money would double every 9 years. So the younger you start investing, the more opportunities for doubling your money you will have. Number 3, real estate. Let's say you take your $10,000 and you buy a mobile home to rent. You successfully rent it for $500 per month. That's $6,000 in yearly income. That's a whopping 60% return. If you divide 72 by 60%, you get 1.2 years. In 1.2 years, you will have doubled your money. I hope now you can see that you want to be on the earning side of compound interest, not on the paying side. Remember, we're not financial advisors. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So if you've enjoyed this video and found it to be helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Tell us in the comments below maybe what you're doing to help take advantage of compound interest. I'm sure our growing MoonShot Money family would love to know. And remember, if you're not interested in your money, someone else is. See you next time.